everyone, and welcome to your Saturday Evening Post Week in Review. My name is Chris Wakefield, and I am the marketing manager for the Saturday Evening Post.
I'm Nicholas Gilmore, and I'm a staff writer at the Post.
I'm Troy Brownfield, also staff writer.
A lot to get to this week. First, let me tell you something really cool. We've told you before, for only $15 a year, you get a one-year membership to the Saturday Evening Post. That features 6 new issues of the Post in your mailbox every single year. Unlimited access to our online archive, over 200 years of cover-to-cover magazines, exclusive member benefits, and a lot more. And for a limited time, you can also get this 2019 Norman Rockwell calendar with your subscription. Only $15, all that stuff, plus for a limited time, this 2019 Norman Rockwell calendar. SaturdayEveningPost.com/subscribe. Troy, you have a piece online about the 25th Amendment.
That's right.
Let's go to the first 24 first, then we'll get to...
Okay, Congress.
I'm kidding.
With the 25th Amendment, it covers 4 sections that have to do with presidential and vice presidential succession, and
Right.
The conditions under which someone takes over or can be replaced. And part of the reason that we wrote about it was it was the anniversary of when Gerald Ford became vice president, because he is the only person to be vice president and president, but not elected to either one.
Not a
of those
single
positions.
vote cast in his name.
That's right. He was the Speaker of the House, and when Vice President Spiro Agnew resigned as a result of a scandal, he was nominated by Nixon, confirmed by Congress, and became vice president. Then, of course, Nixon resigns in '74, and Ford becomes president. And then he loses in '76 to Carter.
Right.
So he's never received a vote for president. But a lot of the article details, how the 25th works and the different mechanics of it, and the fact that, Speaker of the House and Congress can actually, begin a mechanism that can remove a sitting president from office if they deem them to be incompetent, dangerous, etc.
And to an extent, the 25th Amendment is so detailed, it has to deal with the cabinet can replace the president, and the president can then write back to Congress saying, no, I'm fine, and the cabinet's come back again and say, no, he's not fine. It's this entire back and forth. Did you know about all this craziness in the Constitution?
Yeah, duh. I wrote the 25th Amendment.
What's your favorite amendment?
My favorite, the 21st.
Forget
I'll link to that.
forget free speech and slavery. Beer. You can read Troy's piece over at SaturdayEveningPost.com. It's really interesting stuff. And it's the time we live in. The 25th Amendment is being talked about a lot nowadays. So brush yourself up on the 25th Amendment.
Sure.
Nick, we'll go from beer to coffee. You've got a piece going up about coffee.
Yeah, so you might not be familiar with the third wave of coffee, but you have probably experienced or come into contact with coffee snobs, people who take their coffee very, very seriously.
Like beer snobs and wine snobs.
Yeah, and wine has had a culture around that for a long time. And beer, I would say, has kind of been parallel with coffee in that way. But you can see in a lot of U.S. cities particularly, this third wave of coffee manifests in a lot of specialty coffee shops, cafes, where you see a lot of single origin beans, pour-overs, Chemex, some different brewing methods.
What's a single origin bean?
So it's
Just get one bean of coffee and that's it?
It's not one, it's several beans
Okay.
still, Chris.
I don't drink
But-
coffee, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't. But so blend is normally going to be your least expensive, typical option.
Like
for
wine.
coffee. A blend, yeah. Well,
Or scotch.
it depends. But yeah, Scotch for sure. So a blend is going to come from wherever. You don't know where it's coming from. Folgers is a blend. Maxwell House.
Right,
And
right.
beyond that, a lot of coffee is blend. Single origin is going to be a little bit more expensive. You know which region it's coming from. And then you also have single farm, single estate, to where you know exactly where that coffee's coming from. And that's going to, when you have all of those beans coming from the same spot, that's going to deliver much more uniform, clear flavor as far as the beans of that coffee.
So how much more would the average cup then cost for something like this?
I mean, you can get, Kona coffee for like $25, $26 a bag.
Okay.
Or more.
That sounds like
And
a lot
that's
of money.
before you buy your $10,000 espresso machine.
Oh my gosh.
But no, the point is it doesn't have to be that expensive.
Right.
You can be a coffee snob and do it on a budget.
But you buy into this. You think you can taste the difference in these different kinds of coffee?
Yeah, I think that if you spend some time, cultivating your taste, then you
Okay.
can. But this all kind of goes into this narrative of millennials seeking out primarily millennials, or a lot of millennials, not only, but seeking out a more, adventurous flavors, seeking out just different ways of experiencing a lot of different food.
Right. Troy, what's your favorite coffee and why is it Folgers?
No, I don't have a particular favorite. I drink a lot of coffee, but I think that.
How do you pick what kind of coffee to? Because for someone who doesn't drink coffee, and I go to the coffee aisle with my fiance, it seems overwhelming the different types of coffee just in a grocery store, let alone a small boutique coffee shop.
To be honest, I mean, I've drank a lot of Folgers in my life, but it's I'm just motivated by the caffeine. Really, I'm not. I'm usually a black coffee drinker, else maybe a little sugar, but I don't overly put a lot of thought into that. It is
So
one
the
area of my
flavor is
life.
just inconsequential to you?
Most of the time versus the overall effect of it, which I've frequently drunk coffee to stay awake.
Right. Would you be willing to try one of these single blend,
Sure.
single
I
origin?
mean, it's the kind of thing that I think that if you find something that you like or you're okay with, you'll probably stick with it or gravitate back to. I understand what Nick's talking about. I mean, it's for everyday kind of conversation. It's just like people have their sodas that they pick and they don't stray from that brand. So if you find a thing that you like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I'm writing about single origin sodas next week.
Now, are you married to one particular coffee
I
brand?
am, yes.
Do you want to share which one it is?
Cafe Bustelo. This is an advertisement.
What is it about Cafe Bustelo?
It's cheap, and I can make it in my AeroPress every morning. This is an advertisement for AeroPress as well. The two go hand in hand beautifully. I can make very strong coffee on the go for cheap. Camping, I can take it with me.
Does it taste
I love
good?
it. Oh, who cares about that?
So I find it interesting. The both of you are
no,
like,
it does. It does.
Okay.
It does. But that's that's a balancing act
Right.
that you do when you
Okay.
want certain other qualities.
You can look for Nick's piece on coffee soon at SaturdayEveningPost.com. All right, now it's time for one of my favorite segments called Don't Add Me. Things this week that may have been sticking under our skin a little bit, getting us a little bit upset or angry. We want to rant about it, but don't add us. Troy, what do you have this week?
I think it's funny that there's a tremendous fury online that the Avengers 4 trailer hasn't been released yet. This is probably the one movie in human history that does not even need a trailer to sell itself.
But the appetite for this trailer is insatiable.
Yeah, people are nuts for it. There's layers of conspiracy theory and prognostication about when is the trailer going to be released. It'll come out when it comes out, but I think it's funny that are we so starved for entertainment in our culture that we need the preview of something we won't see until May that badly?
It's kind of the issue of you get what you want finally, and the second it's over, you want more.
Yes, much
So-
like crack.
Much like crap. Nick, what's got you upset this week?
Yeah, so I had a friend recently on Facebook, a Facebook friend, who shared a pretty grotesque image of a wound that they had. And I guess I can understand the immediate desire to want to share this with the world because it's affected you so greatly in those moments after it happened or hours after it happened. But I don't want to see that. I didn't ask for that.
And they almost always come when you're eating. That's when they always show up in my timeline. So I'm eating breakfast.
Well, you're
That's when I
always
see-
eating.
I'm always eating, yes, but still. But you clicked on it and you saw it.
I didn't even click on it. I was just scrolling by and, oh, look at what happened to me today, at the auger or whatever.
Now sometimes they'll filter those. They'll put a shadowy thing over it, and you have to click uncover
That's what
photo.
they should do.
They do that on some of those. but
I'm
I
a
think-
squeamish person.
Did you report it?
Well, no. I mean, I'm not.
Nick ain't no snitch.
I'm not a snitch. It should be. It should be against the rules for Facebook. I think. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, toy with our elections, whatever. I don't care. Just stop these gross pictures from showing up on my feed. That's all I'm asking for.
Wow. I want to talk about Burger King. And just this week, we got a tweet from Burger King that was like 45, 50 characters long of just nonsense, just random letters and numbers and punctuation marks. And I'm guessing what happened is some social media manager said, I bet I can tweet nonsense and get attention for it.
Yeah.
And here at the Saturday Evening Post, we have a Twitter account at SatEvePost,
Which
and
also
we
tweets
spend hours crafting these beautifully
We
well-crafted
try to
tweets
curate
that
our
are
content.
insightful and well-worked, and there's works of art. And Burger King just did this on a computer's keyboard, and it went viral.
It's a sign of the times.
How does this happen?
I mean, that was obviously an attention stunt.
Yeah, and it worked, but it worked.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know what to say.
Burger King-
It's a sad
I
time.
mean, good job, but don't at me. That's just ridiculous. I'm going to go back now and try and craft a tweet that is so well thought and no one's going to like it or interact with it. But Burger King just does gibberish, and they have some of the biggest brands in America responding to their tweet and interacting with them.
Yeah. And I mean, that food's not good for you either.
All right, so if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Saturday Evening Post. Also want to remind you that you can. We just lost Burger King as a sponsor. If you want to subscribe to the Post, you can do so and get this limited time offer. 1 year gets only $15 and also gets you this Norman Rockwell 2019 calendar. Some really cool pictures inside. SaturdayEveningPost.com/subscribe. The calendar, the archives, benefits, all kinds of cool stuff over for our members. Nick, if you want to follow you on Twitter, how do we do so?
I'm at Darwin Jr. with a Y.
Troy?
At Troy Brownfield, also with the Y in the middle.
And you can find me at Wakefield Report, and of course follow the Post everywhere at Saturday Evening Post. That's all we have this week from Metazoa Brewing. We'll see you all next week.